This is DevOps in Agile Way podcast.
Hello everyone and Happy New Year. As you probably noticed already, I am a day late with the latest episode. I'm sorry for that. I didn't have time to record it earlier, but well, hopefully this will be not standard thing with this podcast. Anyway, in this episode, I'd like, as the new year is starting, I'd like to chat a little bit about my plans for this podcast for this year. And for sure, you realize that I didn't have any interview for a longer time. This is something that I want to change, and I plan to have more guests and more discussions about different things. So this is for sure one of the things which I want to, let's say, change or come back to what we have on the beginning. I still want to explore DevOps areas. So here is the kind request to you. Let me know in the comments or in social medias, whatever. What do you like to hear? Okay, what is the topic you want to know more? Maybe you're struggling with. What do you want to hear from me? Maybe I can share something interesting from different perspective. My second podcast, where I am a co-host, we did a short break during the vacations a couple of months ago, and this break was longer than we anticipated. So we plan to come back to recording the podcast. The podcast is called Last Week in IT. Please check it. It's interesting format because there are three of us. All of us are colleagues, obviously, and we have different backgrounds. And even if we used to work together in one company, one IT company, we still have different areas of responsibility and different perspectives, and we share this perspective in our discussions about different things. So please find this podcast and listen to it. Maybe you will like it. Maybe you already know, but because I mentioned this a couple of times, I had the pleasure to be part of the teams organizing DevOps Days and AWS Community Day in Poland, in Warsaw, and DevOps Days in Warsaw and in Krakow. This year, this happened again. I have again this pleasure to be part of the team for DevOps Days, both DevOps Days and for AWS Community Day. For the AWS Community Day, we already announced the date and the place. I will not spoil the fun here, so go to LinkedIn, go to the webpage, and you can find the date and you can find the place. We will start a CFP process very soon, so call for papers. And we expect to have even better event than last year, which was the great one. And same for DevOps Days. For now, I think we do not have, or we have for Krakow one, the date already defined, but as it is not public yet, I will not share this date with you today. So those three events have kind of my touch inside. So you should like it, I hope at least. What else? I don't know really if I will be able to do everything what I really have in my mind. However, I want to come back to my CI/CD.run framework because it was like a kind of abandoned for 1 year. I didn't update this framework. So it's time to come back to this with fresh mind and do some improvements for the framework itself. Also, the reason for that is another project which I have in mind, and I want to materialize this project, probably not in the form of web page, but I will see how much of data I will gather to publish. I will not say yet what it is about, just short teaser, let's say. It is about the infrastructure. As you know, for half a year right now, I'm working for a company where infrastructure, and especially infrastructure as code, mainly infrastructure as code, is the main focus, right? So we provide the platform to deliver and manage infrastructure as code, and in many flavors of this infrastructure as code. So Terraform, OpenTofu, CloudFormation, Ansible, Kubernetes, Pulumi, TerraGrant, you name it. Infrastructure as code become more in my interest deeper in my interest, and I spent more time, let's say, thinking, actively and creatively thinking about the approaches we are using to work with infrastructure. I developed an idea. I'm working on materializing this idea, and when it will be done, I will share it with you. There will be a special episode about this. Maybe even I will be able to have some nice guests to talk about exactly this. We'll see. This, let's call it framework for infrastructure, CI/CD framework, 2 podcasts, hopefully a lot of conferences with talks. That looks like enough, but it's not all. We, with a group of 3 others, great DevOps people, we started to write a book about CI/CD, just sharing this with you. We'll see how the writing will go and where it will lead us. But hopefully, as I hope and as I see the collaboration right now, everything should go very smoothly. What next? Well, important thing. Last year, in the same time like now, I was for the first time a mentor in the Women in Tech mentoring program. I strongly believe in this program. I strongly believe this program has a huge importance and very, very huge impact in the market. And as I love to share knowledge, love to share how to approach to different problems, etc., I feel that this is a natural place for me to be as well. So in the 9th edition of this program, I am also a mentor. It is a time right now, I think, or it will start very soon, to register yourself as a mentee to the program. Then you can select the mentor with which you wish to work and wait for the decision. That's simple like that. The program is, if I remember correctly, 4 months long, but I'm still working with my mentee. That's really, really, really good course and really good program to grow professionally in the area or change your area to IT. It is not only about the DevOps, so don't get it wrong. It's about the IT as a whole, really. So you can find mentors related to programming, to Scrum, to management, to leadership, to testing, to whatever, and a few DevOps are there as well. I really strongly encourage you to look into this program because it's a really good one. I have a plan to have some of organizers as my guests. So hopefully it will happen very soon. So yeah, I said that I plan to have more guests and hopefully it will happen. For sure there are more things to say about my plans, but I believe that those are the most important at this point in my professional careers. I still want to stay as a AWS community builder and DevOps Institute ambassador and CD Foundation ambassador. I mentioned this when we discuss different things, when I had the pleasure to talk with Victor Vedmich, that my dream is to become AWS hero. Honestly speaking, right now, as a person who is more dedicated to DevOps than cloud, I see some problems with achieving this title, but we'll see. We'll see what will happen. I also want to, let's say, boost and start doing more on my YouTube channel. I published, I think 2 months ago or even more, the first part of the series about Snyk. I want to continue this. And Snyk is only one element which I want to do there. We'll see where it will go as well. Anyway, I already have the proper equipment to record. So, well, I bought it, so I should use it. And hopefully I will. I do not have a plan for the next few episodes, really. I was thinking about DORA metrics. So probably the next episode will be about DORA metrics. I think this episode is strange enough to not bore you more with my plans, what I want to do next year, this year, what I want to do this year. But I think it is good to have a plan, at least some partial plan. So again, please let me know in the comments, what topics do you want to hear? What you want to hear more about the technology, about the approaches, about the processes, about DevOps, about clouds, mainly AWS, of course, but anyway, about the clouds, about DevOps tooling, about things related to this. I remember that one of the requests was about how to select a specific tool from number of tools. I will talk about this as well. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Have a great year. Hopefully the world become more smart, more intelligent than it is right now, and those all crazy things, those all wars will finish. As this is a very important year in many countries because of the elections, so I wish everyone everywhere to have the, let's say, good representatives and smart and intelligent representatives who are thinking about the future, about the planet, about the people, not about themselves. And with this bombshell, thank you very much and see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of DevOps in Agile Way podcast with your host, Pavel Pivosh. Subscribe, comment, and do not forget to check our next episodes. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Stay curious.